Hi, I'm Brina.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And we're Mighty Moms to Owen and Tad, who are both on the autism spectrum.
We're going to share real, honest content and experiences
about what it's like to be a mom of a kiddo on the autism spectrum.
Between the two of us, there is nothing we haven't experienced.
We don't hold back, and neither should you.
Here we go.
Welcome to Mighty Moms episode Q&A number 3. Probably episode number 20-something by now.
Yeah, I think
don't know.
so.
That's exciting.
I know, right?
It might be right at 20.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be.
It's exciting.
So hello on Facebook.
Hello. Hello on TikTok.
Hello on Facebook. Hello on TikTok. We're going live. And we are here to answer any questions. We also have questions from our viewers that have messaged us on TikTok and on Facebook. And that's okay. If you don't feel comfortable posting your questions on our lives,
submit it
that was
anonymously.
a great idea. You can submit it anonymously, or you can
just
say your name, but just all you have to do is be like potty training, and then we know the topic to talk about. Or you don't have to go into detailed, but these people went pretty detailed, so I like that too. Give us your child's age, because that makes a difference too.
It does make a difference.
And if they're diagnosed or you're going through the process of getting a diagnosis, maybe that would help too.
So if you're following us on TikTok, if you don't mind hitting the share button and sharing our live.
I'm going to turn that this way a little bit.
This one?
Like go over so I don't have to lean so far in.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Then that's good. It's
Is
this
that
one.
good?
Yeah. Okay, I got to get rid of my gum.
But do you? I'm about to put a mint in because I have like a scratchy
I know a mint's
throat.
better than me.
Do you want one? I have two.
A mint's better than me. You might need it though.
It's okay. I'll make this one last.
Okay.
I won't bite it since I'm in the mic.
Yeah, sorry. I can't have gum because I tend to, when I get...
Chompy chomp?
Yeah, chomping on it. Learned that in multiple podcasts. So, any viewers have any questions? Let's see. Hi, girlies. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Denise.
Hey, Ashley. Ashley Macbeth. Girl, she was one of our paras.
Oh,
One of Ted's paras that, oh my gosh, to this day, I know he still remembers and loves Ashley. Aww. Even if he probably saw her on the street, he'd recognize her. She made a huge impact in our
I love that.
In our lives. So
and tell us where you're from too, because
that would be good too. We kind of get an idea of who we're reaching out to.
So we are,
and give us hearts on TikTok because that helps our account a lot.
And we are located in southeastern Oklahoma. If you can't tell. And
especially me.
No, especially both of us. I think we said this. I make this joke often that I sound like cornbread.
I fried chicken.
If cornbread had a sound, it sounds like this. But yeah, so tell us where you're from, because we want to be a worldwide cult of Mighty Moms.
Yeah, and when we say cult, we mean I know some people are like cult. Uh-huh. Well, it's more or less, we're not a gang, but we kind of are a girl gang. We're just trying to share and support every mom that parents a child on this autism spectrum or even special needs, because it all kind of falls under one category. Mm-hmm. So that's what we mean by cult, and that's our goal, is to make this big group of strong women, empower them, and advocate for them. Yeah. Cheer them on, cheer moms on. So,
I mean, advocating for each other, like, I know I'm a part of so many, and I know you are too. I'm a part of so many autism groups, specifically on Facebook. Do you want to see something you want to read?
It says, Denise, just wanted to pop in and show some love. I have a few minutes while Vincent's... Yay. Hey, Vincent, we follow Vincent, and I love watching all of your TikToks. He's an older child. I say older child. Older young adult.
Yeah.
And She's an amazing mom. I love watching her TikToks. So thank you for joining us. You understand, and I appreciate you putting
things. Do a live with her one day.
Yeah,
especially because TikTok makes it so easy to do
it
that.
does. I know. We're gonna figure that out too. Ashley, hey girl, miss you guys. Miss you too. Denise is a total boss mom in Jersey.
Who's watching on Facebook? I see some people on
I'm
there.
proud to be here. I think you girls are amazing. Oh, that means so much.
Drop your name and your... For some reason, it's not showing me like who's on Facebook like it did last time.
There's no comments. If you're on Facebook, just shoot a comment, say hi.
I thought it would show you. Oh, it doesn't show you like on TikTok. It shows you if somebody joined, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't
But on
here.
Facebook, it just tells you how many people. Well, anyway, just drop in and say hi.
Thank you, Denise. We appreciate your support.
We're going to do a live Q&A today. If you haven't noticed, we've been doing that on Mondays. And so here we are. It's our third one, and we love this, I think, don't you?
I like it
I
a
love
lot.
it so much.
It opens us to a whole new level of
It really
being
does.
able to reach other
I know.
moms. And we still will do interviews and that with I think we've got coming up some interviews with some autism moms here in our area, and then even some, I think the city was it the city manager that wanted to do a podcast, and then hopefully we'll have a podcast interview with
there were a few moms on our TikTok.
we're definitely going to do that with our TikTok moms. So if you're interested in doing a host on a live, that would be really cool too.
And just so you guys know, we actually when we moved into this studio, we launched a new business, and it's Productions.
Yeah.
And we can also produce your podcast. So if you've ever wanted to have a podcast, but just didn't know where to start, we have everything here for you. We can help you with your logo. We can help you with the whole concept.
The marketing portion.
And very affordable. And we did it like that because the person who started our podcast, he was very affordable for us, and we probably wouldn't have been able to do it without his help.
Yeah.
And so
Daniel, shout out to Daniel and
Sierra Kindler. But they helped us so much, and we wanted to do that too. So, getting your voice out there shouldn't cost,
a fortune,
an arm and a leg. And so, and any topic, I mean, like we're meeting with someone next Monday who's wanting to do just like a lifestyle podcast.
And then we have a lady that wants to do devotionals, and she does devotionals already online on social media, and she's decided to do a podcast.
I love that.
And then she'll reach so many more people on those platforms.
Oh yeah.
And then we have a podcast with Mark Meeks. He's going to start doing him and Chad fitness and over 40 type topics, nutrition, life.
And he was on our podcast. I think it was like episode 17, but I don't know.
Don't give me a line because I don't know.
And I will tell you, because we were talking about not just weight loss, but just really like feeling the best you've ever felt, because we need that. We need to feel the best we've ever felt. And he was talking about your protein intake, and since we had him on the podcast, I've lost 15 pounds.
Because you've done that?
Because obviously
protein.
like watching, like eating certain things and eating clean and healthy, which I felt like I was already doing, and that was frustrating. But making sure I get protein. And I ordered these packets on Amazon. It's called Frog Fuel.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a citrusy or berry flavor or something. And I keep a box in my desk and a box at home.
And
they're 15 grams of protein, and it's this little pouch, but it has 15 grams of protein in it. And I just take that.
That's
so
nice.
I'm getting at least double what I was already getting.
Yeah.
Because he said you should be intaking your weight. So like if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be taking in 150 grams of protein
so the
a
goal,
day.
I think the goal is to intake the protein amount that the weight that you want to be.
Okay.
So say you want to be 150 pounds, then you would take 150 grams of protein intake a day.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
and he
that's...
said for women, he's like so happy if they get over 100.
Exactly. Like if you...
And I think there were days I was getting like 30 grams of protein.
You'll be surprised.
Like nothing. Maybe even less than that.
You'll be surprised when you don't.
I'm not vegetarian, but I don't tend to like gravitate toward things that have meat in them. I'm more of like a easy, softer foods. Like, I don't know. If I can drink it, it's like, don't get me wrong, I love food, but sometimes eating is just like an inconvenience during the day. I'd rather have like a shake or something, or coffee, which is obviously isn't going to have protein in it.
Denise, if you girls ever want to remind me before you go live, I will happily share it out with my group. Awesome.
Oh man, every Monday.
I didn't think to do that, but every Monday we're going to go live. The time will be maybe different, but majority of the time it's going to be around this time.
And Dee Dee's been posting like announcements.
Yeah,
like
and I will do an announcement on our TikTok and Facebook and Instagram the day before or the Friday before with the exact time.
Yeah.
But we really can shoot for Monday at 11. I mean,
yeah,
it's not bad.
We
it's
can
a good
try
timing.
to set that.
Yeah.
In stone, that works for me too.
So we're going to try to do that. So, but I will try to remember to tag everyone, like you, Denise, and other Bad A Mama. I meant to do that this time and I forgot.
Is she on?
I haven't seen her. Sounds great, girls. I hope you send some people hope to send people your way. I love what you're doing. So much value. Thank you. We appreciate you.
We need to just get her on screen next week.
If you want to be on our podcast, Denise, we'd love to have you.
Can we just schedule that right now?
Yeah, you want to start next week?
Next Monday at 11. See you here. And that's what's so cool about TikTok. Just being able to get somebody on like that.
So
I think get on TikTok, and I think we can invite her to
co-host. I think.
I mean, I see it all the time, so we'll get it figured out.
Yeah,
we'll try to get it figured out before next Monday.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research.
We would love to have you on if you can. So if you guys see some bloopers in your feed of us trying to figure out how to do a live, just ignore it. It's just us being.
Why don't you discuss that for January, girls? The next month is super busy, but I understand. We can start. We'll reach out to you in January, Denise. I'm going to put that in my notes right now.
And then we'll go ahead and get started on our first.
Yeah.
Hey, Bubba. He always shares our stuff. Thank you. He shared it. Thank you.
January, Denise. Okay, I'm going to pull questions that we got from our messaging on. I'm not sure if these are on TikTok or Facebook. I put them all together. So, this is from Kelsey M. Hey, ladies, any ideas or suggestions on how to get my daughter out of a meltdown state? She curls up in tight spaces and constantly bangs her body against things when she's upset. She also doesn't want to be touched or seen sometimes. We've tried music, water, cuddles, dark room, almost everything. Any suggestions will be helpful.
Knowing that she's tried those things already does make it a little harder. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if you have... Tad doesn't really do that as much as Owen did.
Well, and I think back on Tad and meltdowns, he had meltdowns, but his meltdowns always were due to his physical ear infection or where I couldn't get. I just try to remember when was times when I couldn't get him to stop crying and he was way younger. I'm talking about before 2.
Yeah.
And I would remember just swinging him in his swing outside for hours because he was screaming.
That was the only thing that soothed him.
Yeah. But as far as meltdowns...
So what caught my attention was when she said sometimes she doesn't want to be touched or even seen.
Yeah.
She doesn't want anybody to look at her. Those little tents that you can just pop up. It's like a play tent or whatever. Owen will sometimes, not now, but when he was younger, he would like to hide away and things like that.
Yeah.
And so maybe if she knows she has that as an option. But the biggest thing that comes to mind for me, and everybody chime in if you have experience with your own kids, but is we have to be there calm. And when you first, especially when you first get that diagnosis, that is so hard. And
so
I think Owen struggled.
If we're dysregulated and we're anxious and stressed, they definitely feel that 10 times worse.
It's we have to really learn how to be superhuman because nobody is going to be calm when
your
someone's
kid's
screaming and pinching you and hitting
or
you
hurting
or hurting
themselves.
themselves or whatever. Like, who in the world can be calm through that? But we have to learn how to do it.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I know my husband and we've learned how to be calm even when Owen was going nuts, for lack of a better word,
Yeah, you literally have to take your emotions out of the picture
You do,
completely.
and that's hard. And I'm not saying this mom doesn't do that, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Because once I realized how to do that, it made a difference, and my tone was different. Because I'll tell you one thing, our kids pick up on all the energy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if your kid just like does not like somebody, listen to that.
Absolutely.
Because
they're a great judge of character.
They are a great judge of character. And sometimes they just don't like certain people. And
Denise says, stay quiet, stay calm, redirect, give new ideas, or just set up safe place, but don't acknowledge.
And that's hard too.
Being hit, it only makes it worse. You're right.
So I
can't imagine.
And I go back to ABA practices when and just in general, when a child is acting out a behavior, you have to ask them, what's the function of the behavior? Is it because
are they hurt?
Yeah, are they hurt? Are they mad? Are they, what's the reason behind it? And if it's for attention, and for Owen it was, but I think it was also because of lack of communication, because he was so frustrated because he could not communicate with us. And if they're doing something for attention, so say they come up and pinch you for attention, and when you go, ow,
yeah,
that's giving them the attention, and that's another way. Like, we got to be superhuman.
That might be like what Denise is saying. Yeah. Don't acknowledge. You're right.
Don't acknowledge, and that's so hard.
That's hard,
especially if they're hurting themselves
or being hit, like she said.
Yes, and I'll never forget when Owen was a toddler and he was going through a really bad phase of hitting himself, pinching himself. He would be covered in bruises, and of course that's your baby, and you see them being hurt. It's hard, and you want to scoop them up and just don't, beg them not to do it. And his BCBA would tell us literally to like say safe hands.
Yeah, just constantly
safe
redirect.
Hands, but then you look away, safe hands, but you're not giving them anything.
Yeah.
You're not whatever, because then say they're hitting themselves because they want a preferred item, or they want, something with gluten in it, and you're trying to do gluten-free, whatever. But if you give them what they're wanting, they're going to learn that, well, if I hit
that
myself,
behavior got
I
what
get
they
what
wanted.
I want.
Yeah.
And so that was so hard for us. We were like, so we're just supposed to let him hit himself,
Yeah.
But you just, safe hands.
Yeah, constantly redirect and say safe hands.
And it didn't work instantly. It took time.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's some great information. I hope that helped. I don't know if Kelsey's watching, but she may be watching our podcast when we launch this. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Anybody else have any questions?
Not on Facebook yet.
Let's see. Okay, this is
something just popped up after you looked away.
Most of the time we are training ourselves more than our children. Yes. That's the key. You're so right.
And I think I mentioned this last week, because my husband and I have learned how to just we're just so calm all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, every now and then, there's an argument that just
yeah.
But we just don't raise our voices, and we don't talk to each other it's so funny because I joke, because I say we sound like Kardashians when we talk, because there's no fluctuation in our voice, and it's just because there's no we can't put, even if I'm really excited, if I go, oh my gosh, Owen's gonna go,
yeah,
what's going on? He's gonna give me a little flap, and then look at me like, what's going on? Yeah. So
what do I need to be alert? Why do I need to be alert?
Yeah. So we are conditioning ourselves constantly to be able to teach our kids to do the same thing.
That's why it brings back that quote, my child has taught me more than I can ever teach him. Yes. And that is so true.
And I think back, my husband and I didn't get in screaming matches or anything a ton, but just like any marriage, you're going to argue. And I think back about like how things have changed because of Owen, and they're not negative changes,
Right.
calm, peaceful,
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah.
really teach you how to, regulate your own emotions, take a deep breath, think things
Yes.
through before you say things,
Oh,
not
yeah.
overreact. And coming from somebody who's very dramatic like myself,
Oh,
I continue
I
to
don't
do
know.
that.
Our house is, Mike is the calm and I'm the storm, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. But Tad is like both a good mix of both of us. So he knows with each of us, he even acts different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's positive. It's just we just are both different in how we. I'm very dramatic, so
Me too. Animated and
yeah,
theatrical.
yes.
Let's just say
and
that.
Tad loves it.
Yes, he does. I see his little videos when you're talking to him.
Yeah.
And you get all excited and he looks and then he goes. And Owen does the same thing. He'll clap or he'll flap when he gets really
showing
excited.
his mom. This is great. Okay, so this is another one. You want to do this?
My eyes are so bad. Someday we're going to figure
It
this
just
out
says
where it's
people are
like-
joining.
Okay.
Thank you if
Thanks
you're
for
joining on TikTok. Thank you.
And we're doing a live, a Q&A live. So any questions that you have related to autism, we're here to discuss it. And maybe we'll have the answers, maybe our viewers will, but we can all discuss it as a group. We have some questions that have been submitted by some of our viewers that Dee Dee gathered, and we're going to go over those. But if you have one, feel free to pop it up there or send us a message even. Whatever works for you. So we just talked about how to redirect a meltdown.
Yeah, redirect a meltdown. And this is a new one from Brooke. She says, "Hi, we have been waiting a year for our pediatric psychiatrist appointment.
Wow.
It's coming up next week, and I feel like I'm not prepared. Any questions I need to ask or prepare myself for my son's sake. He's 4 and is nonverbal."
Oh, I hate that they've been. First of all, I hate that they've been waiting for
I
a
know,
year.
and I do know, like, based on around here, we're in Oklahoma and we border Texas, so there we have a children's hospital in Texas and a children's hospital in Oklahoma, which are about the same distance, kind of centralized location. And the waiting list are 2 years to get to a developmental pediatrician to get that diagnosis. But they can also, they're reaching out to a pediatric psychiatrist, which is who Stacy.
Yeah,
is
if
he
you are local, we've got somebody
not
that
sure
can get
where
you in
they're
quicker
at.
than that. And then also, so where we're located in southeastern Oklahoma, it's like we're in a rural area for sure, but there is Center for Psychological Development here that's also so it's in Durant, but also in Denison, which is in Texas because we're really close to Texas. And then where Owen went when he was 3 was in Grapevine, Texas.
Okay, yeah.
And that was Dr. Rios, and he is a developmental pediatrician. Amazing. We loved him, but yeah, if you're local and you need resources for a diagnosis, definitely message us. We can get you
Yeah.
a couple of resources that can definitely get you in within a couple months.
That's good.
And I just can't, like, that a whole year
That's a
when they're a
lot of
toddler
time.
is like,
But what I can stress to you, if you are on a waiting list, I can't stress it enough. Get them in early intervention. It is not going to hurt them. Get them into speech, OT, physical therapy. You can't necessarily do ABA till you get a diagnosis,
Right.
but those get them into there. They're going to need that. I didn't have a diagnosis for Tad forever, but we started early intervention at 2.
yeah.
Actually, a little bit earlier than 2, it seemed like, because he had issues walking.
So, like, PT and OT.
Yeah, PT,
Yeah.
OT, and speech. And he continued that until, COVID, basically.
Yeah.
It's not, and I think that helped him a lot tremendously.
Well, and just socialization, too, with other
True,
people.
and going to a clinic, going into
Getting used
different,
to that.
doctor's offices and that. So, any questions? She said, did she need to ask or prepare herself for her son's sake?
That's a really good question. Here's the thing with, and I'll just interrupt me if you, but here's my opinion on it. I didn't have any questions.
That's what I was thinking.
Because I was in survival mode. But the doctors who do this on a daily basis, so first of all, you don't just go in and for a 20-minute appointment and get the diagnosis. It's usually a series of 3 appointments. And one is to check the function of like their motor skills and socialization skills, things like that. And that's usually done with someone who specializes in that, like speech OT.
Yeah.
Those physicians who diagnose will have someone like that, either that they contract with or on staff to check for those things. And there's a series of tests that they do that will calculate a score.
Yeah.
And then the physician himself, him or herself, in mine it was a him, but will also do scoring, and then they will ask you to complete a test. Ours was the, what's it called? The Vineland. And it's a series of questions, and it helps the doctor better understand. And it's a lengthy questionnaire, but they will complete that question. You will complete that questionnaire and give it back to the physician. So all that to say, they're so thorough
Yeah.
that you can tell them nothing. They're still going to find out where your kid
Yeah,
is in
that's
those
what
areas.
their main goal is,
Yeah.
to pretty much dissect every part of your
Yes.
child. So really questions would be only questions that come when they do go over the evaluation with you, whatever sparks your curiosity, or
And like what you said, like what Dee Dee said, in that year,
yeah.
and maybe she has been doing this, but like you can get a referral from just your regular pediatrician.
Yeah, you don't
for
have to
speech
wait
or
for
OT and
those.
all that. ABA, you do have to have a diagnosis before your insurance will approve it. So you can't start ABA yet, but you can still start those other
Yeah.
therapies.
Yeah, I hope that answered your question, but I'm sorry you have to wait so long on
Yeah,
that.
that stinks.
That's gotta get better. We gotta do better. People getting
And it's too long. It's too long.
that just shows you that there's such
a need.
need for
And if y'all are just now hopping on, especially on TikTok, give us some hearts and shares.
tell a parent. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna read this.
We're doing a live Q&A today for autism-related questions.
Here's an answer from Denise, our viewer. I would ask, how can you diagnose my child so they benefit over every service possible? Great idea. I'm sorry, but I tell parent to spill it all. Get it all.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't make it sound better than it is. That's true. Give facts.
That
Just
is
stick
so
to
true.
that is just stick to facts, because
Yeah.
you want them to know. Because also, she's right. Your child may act different at that appointment,
Yes.
especially ones that I feel like that are higher functioning, that can kind of mask their symptoms of
Yes.
autism. They will do
Yes.
that in a different setting.
And girls tend to mask more than boys.
Yes. And by the way, I've seen I just, even on these, when I was reading through these messages, there was more girls. Like, it seems
Really?
like more girls are.
Getting diagnosed.
Yes.
But they say, so I've read some statistics that say it's not just that boys have it more.
It's just
that
the girls mask it. Yeah.
And so what that means is they're watching other people and they learn how to socialize. So they're really not being themselves, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Obviously, everybody learns how to, but like they're masking their autism traits.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And I feel like boys can do that too, like I said, in a different setting. Mm-hmm. TEDx much probably better behavior-wise with other people than he would me, like any typical
'Cause he
kid.
knows he can.
That's a typical child behavior. They're gonna act better with
That's
other
so
people
true.
than their parents. That's why people pick up their kids at daycare and like, oh, he did so great. Then it's terror. All the way home.
And you're like, what?
They're letting it loose,
Yeah.
So thank you, Denise. That's great information. Okay, let's move
I
on.
did something.
Oh, poo.
All right, we're going to move on to the next question.
I did.
Oh, never mind.
I did parent support for 13 years, and I saw a lot of parents not wanting to own up to what their child, what their child actually. You're right. We don't want to go in there and tell the bad of the bad, the good, the ugly. We don't want to do that because we want our child to sound great. But also, like she said, we also want every resource possible for them. So go in there with facts. Okay.
Tell them all the things. Don't hold anything back at the doctor's office.
No.
If you don't want to tell, Susie Smith, the other kindergartner's
tell your
mom,
doctor, though.
Yeah, that's fine. But tell your doctor's got to know everything.
Absolutely. Okay. This is an anonymous, and see, you can, I don't know how they did it, but you can message through this was through TikTok, I know, an anonymous comment. I don't know how they did that, but how do you handle the mom guilt of the autism diagnosis? I can't shake the feeling that it's my fault my son has autism. He's 7 and struggles so bad just trying to make friends and feel included. That's hard.
I think we all that resonates with all of us.
That kind of makes me tear up because we all go through mom guilt. I mean, it's a feeling that's normal. You can't dwell on it, but
well, and I know
and I'm no doctor to tell you that a lot of autism is genetic.
Yeah.
So, but you can't dwell on that. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is what I would do is refocus. Is it really, don't waste your time on the mom guilt part. Instead, focus on your child and what things maybe you could do for your child. And maybe that would help you redirect those thoughts.
And that's easier said than done, but that's really it's a mindset.
It has to be.
You just have to make up your mind that you're not going to live in that. Because, like Didi said, you can put that same energy into helping your kid, getting into new routines and all the things. I mean, because it's not, worrying about it or feeling guilty isn't going to change it.
Right.
It is. And it can be genetic. And I have autoimmune issues, and I've always heard that, like, so many moms of kids on the spectrum have autoimmune issues. And so I'm like, okay, well, then what's the link? Like, what's the...
But also on the autoimmune part, I do think that parents, especially the women, because you're in a chronic state of stress, that leads to autoimmune. So I don't know if you had it prior to
Before, I did.
But it might not have been as prominent or as...
100%, that's true.
Yeah. So the stress it takes on our bodies to parent. And like you said, the mom guilt, the worry, the... all of that takes a toll on our bodies. But I also want to say, I could sit there and let my mind wander to, what's going to happen if Mike and I pass and Tad has, what's going to happen? I can't even think about that other than preparing for the future and making sure everything's lined up if something does happen. I had to kind of push that to the side because I got stuck in that a lot.
Yeah.
And really worrying about that a lot. So the mom guilt thing is the same. You're just going to have to, it's a natural feeling. It's not something to be ashamed about because I feel like it's a natural feeling that you should have. If you're human, you're going to have that feeling, but you can't dwell on it at all.
Or feel,
Yeah. So I hope that helps.
And I mean, and obviously, like I would say, if it's really, really, like debilitating, probably therapy would help with that.
Yeah, I think so too. There's nothing wrong with therapy. There's no, I mean, I encourage it, absolutely. If it's something you can just go talk it out with somebody, because sometimes that's hard to talk about with your spouse, the feelings you feel, because they're probably feeling the same way, especially I feel like men might have dad guilt more than moms have mom guilt.
Yeah, and then we talk about it more. We don't, they don't bring it up.
No,
they bottle it up.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope that helps. I'm going to move on because we're trying to keep this under 45
And if you
minutes.
have any questions, you can feel free to
and we'll
post it in the comments or message us. If you want it to be anonymous, we
can
go
ahead and message us for next week because this was great. That way we have topics still and we don't have to go through all of these But like I said, if you feel more comfortable not messaging us on our lives, you can Facebook message us or TikTok message us or email us at mightymomspodcast@gmail.com. And I'll be sure to, Brina and I will be sure to check those.
Yeah.
Especially before the lives. That way we make sure your questions are on here. So, oh Lord, Sadie, no sleep nights are getting worse. My daughter is 3, nonverbal autism. She is on melatonin and magnesium gummies, but wakes up every night around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and doesn't go back to sleep. My husband and I both work, and it's so hard on all of us. Any suggestions? Girl.
So, I know.
Let me say one thing.
This is the number one to me.
I waited so long to get Tad help with sleep. So long, because I just fought it, and Brina's like, Dee, just you want me to bring you some medicine Owen takes and you just let him sleep. I'm just kidding. It's all natural.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, he's fine. And I always talked about sleep.
You
always
are not getting. Is he sleeping better now?
Absolutely. We finally, our doctors listened to us after I was like, I'm not leaving here.
I could not believe it was as much of a struggle for him to get, and I get it. I'd rather a doctor be cautious than sure.
And Tad had no problem sleeping until he started having seizures when he was 13, and he was put on his seizure meds. And I really believe that was the culprit of, and the sleep doctor actually said it could be, not that it was, but it could be. And, but I waited so long to make that decision to get into a sleep doctor because I just couldn't do it anymore. I was just walking zombie. And I wasn't helping my child being in that state.
I don't know an autism mom that's not been in that same place.
Yeah, and I think we just have to take the plunge and do it and go to the doctor because I didn't want him on another prescription. I try to be holistic, but you know what? Sleep is very important.
If you don't get sleep,
yeah.
I mean, they're not functioning.
No.
Their behavior is going to be through the roof.
Yes.
You're going to be exhausted and not thinking clearly and have brain fog, all the things.
So recently, oh gosh, in maybe I don't know when it was, maybe February, March, something, is when we got into a specialist and they were children's specialists, and she just was like, okay, I'm going to give you a list of medications that I want to try on him. You pick which one you want. We picked one. I picked the one that Owen was on because I knew, I was like, well, I can at least talk to Brina. We like to talk about
Owen
medication.
Takes clonidine.
And that's what she prescribed him. It is like 0.01 was his prescription to start out on,
Yeah,
which
I think
is
it's
nothing.
Like you can do a 0.1,
You can go
0.2, 0.3.
And then 0.5 is the highest.
Okay, so
but he's so young. But Tad could go up to 0.5.
Is he on 0.5?
So we started giving him that. He started sleeping. It was like a whole new world.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I remember the first night you were like, I got so much sleep last night, and I
feel horrible. I feel horrible.
She was so used to going on 3 hours of sleep every night.
It literally took me a week to get out of that feeling of feeling bad because I was getting good sleep.
I'm not used to getting REM sleep.
No. And so my life has changed on that too.
Owen's 9, and when he was, how does it say the age of that kid?
She said 3.
Oh, that's hard.
I know.
So, and this is a fact, you can look it up, but not all, but most children on the spectrum do not produce as much melatonin as a neurotypical child.
Yeah.
And so the first thing that people try usually is melatonin.
And that's what she has. She has her on melatonin and magnesium gummies.
Okay. So I do know this, that when Owen was 3, we were doing those little tablets like Zarbee's or whatever.
Yeah, and there's a thing called Calm Forte, and I highly recommend it. It's a holistic. You can get it on Amazon. I'll post it in the comments.
Does it have melatonin in it?
It doesn't have melatonin, but it has a calming effect. So what I was told is melatonin is what will
keep them asleep,
allow them to stay asleep. I hope I'm not saying this. And then, like, the Calm Forte could help them fall asleep. But anyway, I don't know. I just know that you're right. Melatonin is.
What I was going to say on the melatonin, those Zarbees, they're like the little toddler baby ones are 1 milligram.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't get me wrong, definitely try to start on the lower milligram. And we okayed this with our doctor, but when Owen was 3 or 4, we were giving him 3 to 5 milligrams.
Yeah.
And now he's 9 and he weighs 80 pounds and he's on 10 milligrams. Yeah. But he sleeps through the night.
Yeah.
But he's also on clonidine.
Yeah.
So, and we tried the 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3 finally after we'd do the 0.1 for a week. And he, like the first night he'd sleep, but then every night after that he'd wake up. So we finally did start at 0.3. So, and I'm not saying that this is the case or this is okay for every kid, but Owen's 9. He weighs about 80 pounds. He's on 10 milligrams of melatonin and 0.3 of clonidine. Mm-hmm. And he sleeps 12 hours.
Yeah.
He sleeps pretty much 7:30 to 7:30.
Yeah.
Every night.
I would highly recommend talking to your doctor and asking them other things that they could help. Or get them to a sleep specialist.
The first thing that came to my mind, and she's probably already tried this, but a weighted blanket. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're having to get up and go back in with her, I would make sure that you know, if you get up to go to the restroom or whatever, which we all do when we get older, make sure her weighted blanket is still on her. If you can sneak in her room, because the weight of those, and I would say even for your like autistic level 2 or 3 kids, you might even go a little bit above what they're the weight that they're supposed to have. Isn't it like no more than your own weight or something?
I don't know or how that works.
Anyway, I think there's a chart online you can look up to see how much weight you put your child's weight and then how much should their weighted blanket weigh. And there are online resources to figure that out. But I would always do maybe a little bit heavier for Owen because he gets that pressure. Yeah. You know, that extra pressure.
I also highly recommend there's a grounding mat. And at first I was kind of nervous about it. You know, it's plugged into the electricity, but it's in the grounding part. And that literally gets them, like they're outside barefoot in the dirt. They're able to ground with the earth. Research grounding because that is so important. Yep. During the day, let her walk outside with her shoes off as long as you don't have like pesticides or anything on the ground. Get her active active during the day and outdoors more. That will help too. But highly recommend getting with this. I think you can get as early as 2 with a sleep specialist. I really do. And we had to get that. What they'll do is Tad's going to have one in January, even though he's sleeping well. We're still going to have it because it's all night sleep study in their facility. And they monitor seizure activity, EKG, breathing, just to ensure that, you know, 1, he's not having seizures in the nighttime. 2, he's breathing okay. He doesn't have any kind of restrictive breathing issues. They want to rule that out and make sure they're safe and there's no underlying health conditions causing them not to sleep. So I highly recommend get them into a specialist. But try the grounding blanket, the weighted grounding pad, weighted blanket. Melatonin for us, when Tad was younger, it did the opposite. I know this is crazy.
No, I've heard.
It did the opposite.
That it just doesn't do anything.
I couldn't give it to him because it wired him up. It made him like Rain Man, to where he was like,
that's so crazy.
Alert.
And if you're not getting sleep, man, I say, don't you think this is the number one thing?
I think it's the number one thing with autistic community.
I mean, sleep. So, we talk about that so much at our coffee network, and I think it's because it's like we're meeting in the morning and we're like, hey, how's it going? And we're all just like bags under our eyes and like.
Yeah, because if your child's not sleeping, then you're up all night worrying about your child. I mean, it's just like a domino effect, and we all need sleep, so.
I know that there's been some comments, but I can't, and we're almost out of time for today.
I see people joining, but I don't see comments on here, but. Yeah, we are. We're going to try to cut this short. We're going to try to do 45-minute sessions because the last time we went like over an hour and 15, which we could talk all day long. But
we really could. We could stay on here all day.
So I do have 3 more people, but we're going to save those for next week. I'm sorry if we didn't get to you.
And if you want to submit a question,
submit questions, and I'll just keep jotting them down, and we'll get to them. But we appreciate you joining us today. Yeah. And if you missed our live, I know they don't last long, but you want to replay the live. I don't know if you can do that or not. But our podcast,
I think that you can go to on TikTok. I think you can go to
the lives and rewatch them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was told, but I haven't learned how to personally do
I
that.
think
myself.
Facebook allows it
today.
Facebook keeps it in your feed.
I think it
for
stays
a while.
in your feed on Facebook.
Yeah. But regardless, if you, we're going to have this on our social media platforms for our podcast and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we'll get those.
Yeah, all the things.
We'll drop this tomorrow.
YouTube.
So,
follow us on YouTube if you can.
Yeah, go like our stuff on YouTube because that helps our. We need to build that up. Mm-hmm. Build that our subscribers. It costs nothing to subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button, and it helps our page, I guess you could say, or algorithm.
Maybe we'll be monetized. We don't know.
I know once we get so many people, we'd be monetized, but that would be cool too. But
well, thanks you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
We will see you next Monday around 11 a.m. But always follow our pages and then and watch for our updates the day before.
Yeah, we'll post something to try to keep you informed.
To let you know exactly what time to join. Thanks, guys.
So thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Okay, Mighty Moms, we're signing off.
Connect with us on our Mighty Moms socials, submit your topic ideas, and share it all.
Follow us at Mighty Moms Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Also, visit our website at mightymomspodcast.com. And remember, together we are a worldwide cult of Mighty Moms.
Listen, my carpets used to be a struggle to keep clean. Between 2 boys and 2 fur babies, I was always cleaning up spills and stains. Then I found Ray at ChemDry. And basically, I've had him on speed dial ever since. So when you need your carpets, furniture, or even hardwood floors cleaned, call or even text ChemDry. Ray will get you all cleaned up. Founded, owned, and operated by nurses, Angels of Care Pediatric Home Health clients are at the heart of everything they do. Proudly serving the medically fragile community since 2000, Angels of Care offers private duty nursing services, speech, physical, and occupational therapies, and respite care across the nation. We are also happy to announce we have started offering services in Colorado. Please visit angelsofcare.com or call 855-45-ANGEL for more information. Get your halos on.
If you've been in an automobile accident or have vehicle damage, S&L Collision Center is the body shop to call for all your auto body repair needs. Larry Hallmark and family have been in business for many years. They are honest and do exceptional work. I have had all of my vehicles repaired by them and have always been satisfied with their work. So if you're in the need for auto body repair, call S&L Collision Center at 580-924-5958. Blackburn Plumbing and Air provides high-quality plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services in Durant, Oklahoma, and throughout the Texoma region. With a proven track record for getting exceptional results, they are ready to take on even the most challenging plumbing and HVAC issues.
Contact them at 580-775-1779 to schedule your appointment today.
Has your Texoma area kiddo recently been diagnosed with autism? You received an order for ABA therapy but have no idea what ABA therapy is or where to enroll your child to receive ABA therapy? Well, look no further than the Owen Academy. TOA was opened in early 2024 and is owned by a local autism mom who has previous business experience in opening varying categories of clinics in Texas and Oklahoma. But most importantly, she has real-world experience navigating life as an autism mom. The Owen Academy has gone above and beyond to create a beautiful and imaginative environment in their now 2 clinic locations in Durant, Oklahoma, to ensure that their therapy techniques are always child-led and play-based. The Owen Academy is proudly serving many families in Bryan, Atoka, Grayson, and Marshall counties with a goal to always expand when and where there is a need. In addition to their warm and inviting therapy clinics, the Owen Academy has gone the extra mile to ensure the qualifications, compassion, heart, and stamina of their board-certified behavioral analysts and registered behavior technicians. At TOA, we are a family. We would love for you to join us and help us continue to create awareness and compassion for individuals with autism in our community. If you're looking for a career in autism therapy or looking to enroll your child in our therapy services, email us today at info@theowenacademy.com or call 580-706-OWEN. That's 580-706-6936. The Owen Academy, where possibilities are limitless.
Bushwhackers Land Clearing and Brush Grinding Services provide cost-effective land clearing and brush grinding services in Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and the surrounding areas. Their environmentally conscious approach keeps soil disturbance to a minimum and can clear without leaving brush piles to burn. They provide commercial land clearing, farm, ranch, pasture clearing, and ROW and pipeline clearing. For all your land clearing needs, call or text Jerry at 580-920-5039 to get your estimates today.
Ladies, let me tell you about my personal experience with Plumped Injectables and Beauty Bar in Durant. Yes, I get Botox like clockwork every 4 months. There's no shame in it for me. I love that I've been able to watch my forehead lines and crow's feet disappear over the last year, and I can't imagine now ever not getting Botox from Randy and her girls at Plumped. Their location here in Durant has such a serene and peaceful vibe. As soon as you walk in the door, you're greeted with a sweet hello and the scent of their very own signature diffuser oil. From Botox, lip flips, and microfacials to lash and eyebrow tinting, hydrating facials, body sculpting and waxing, and so much more, Plumped has all of your top-tier beauty essentials covered. Get your Plumped on by calling 580-634-2852 or emailing plumpedbeautybar@gmail.com. Visit plumpedbeauty.com to see their comprehensive list of services and see what the buzz is all about. If you're into building your own pizza, salad, or dessert with the most incredible toppings, look no further than the Corner Crust, a uniquely curated pizza cafe on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Durant, Oklahoma. And if you're not in the mood to build your own pizza, they have all your traditional pizzas on the menu, plus some fun and flavorful options like pickle pizza and Mexican cowboy. Yeehaw! Follow the Corner Crust on Facebook for special events like live music by local featured artists, teen night, motorcycle night, or karaoke night. If we can say one thing about the Corner Crust, it's that they have options, and options make the world go around. Visit the Corner Crust Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., or book your special event by calling
580-380-4290.